going on, everybody? So today, I was actually out to lunch with my beautiful girlfriend. Well, not today actually. I took her out the other day to go lunch before she went back to Hungary. We went to Weatherspoons, and one of my friends works there, and she was telling us how this woman was on one of her boats, because basically where the Weatherspoons is, there's a like the River Lee. For anyone that knows what the River Lee is, it's right next to that near Chingford. And this woman was basically drunk, and her skirt kept flying up, and I think her tits were popping out and whatever. And my friend that worked there was telling me that they called the police on her, or they were gonna call the police on her. And I want to get you guys' opinion on this, because to me I think that's a bit excessive. Now their argument was that there were kids in the restaurant and they didn't want the kids seeing them. So I got her to explain the situation to me a little bit better, and basically she wasn't doing anything. I think she was like cleaning her boat, and she was a bit drunk and she didn't know. So I understand if her life is in danger and she's going to go overboard and you want to call the police to save her, but that wasn't the intention here. The intention was to get her in trouble because she was grossing everyone out. I don't know if this woman looked gross or whatever, but apparently these people were grossed out by it. So they call the fucking police, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, and it sparked this whole debate that I had with my girlfriend, and I'd like to know what you guys think. So what I was saying was, if you don't like it, just turn away. She's not hurting anyone. She's not even in the restaurant. She's on the other side of the pond in her boat. She wasn't finger banging herself. She wasn't doing anything crazy. She was just a bit drunk, and she was on her boat cleaning. Her skirt came up. The vajayjay may have been on show. She might have shown a bit of titty, a bit of nipple might have been there. Nothing serious, right? So they called the police, and I think that's what they did. And I was basically, it sparked this whole argument where it was like, why don't you just mind your own fucking business, If someone is not bothering you, why are you up in their business? Like, is it such a crime to see a naked body? Now, I completely understand if this woman was coming into the restaurant, flailing her boobs in people's faces, making you look at the minge while you're eating. I get that. But she's not even in the restaurant. She's all the way over there, and you're just staring at her through a window. Look the other way. This restaurant's not small. It's not like you're forced to look. There's a billion places that everyone in that place could look. There's probably one table, which was probably not even seated, that would inadvertently have to look at her. Other than that, nobody had to look at her. And their argument was, well, think of the children. And I said, babe, I guarantee you the kids are looking at much worse on the internet, okay? This stupid UK porn ban is not going to stop anything. Theresa May and her band of hooligans have clearly never fucking heard of a VPN. The kids are looking at much worse, okay? So there's nothing wrong with looking at a pair of tits. There's nothing wrong. Now, and then they said to me, well, what if it was a guy out there doing it? And I was like, so what if he was doing it? What if his dick pops out of his pants? Just be like, hey buddy, your dick's come out of your pants, Do you want to zip up? Do you have to call the police? Now, if this guy's fully erect and he's coming at you and you're trying to eat your food, then I get it. You might have a sexual assault case on your hands, but this chick was doing nothing. And then she asked me, well, if you saw a naked person walking down the road, wouldn't you report them? No. Why would I report them? None of my business. Why are people always up in other people's shit? You just can't mind your own fucking business these days. It boggles my mind. So we continued talking about it, and she was just like, oh, yeah, it's disgusting. It's disgusting that, it's inappropriate. I don't want to misquote her. I may be remembering some things wrong. Okay, I've got a bit of a shitty memory, but she didn't like it. She didn't like the idea of it. And I was just like, just leave people alone, man. And it made me think about all these other instances where I've been minding my own business, sitting in my car listening to the Lonely Island, and this happened more than once. Someone's rolled down their window and told me to turn it down. Now granted, I understand that, the lyrics to some of the Lonely Island songs may be uncomfortable for some. It may be haram to some. People are asking me to allow it, but I'm just like, it's not the end of the world. My problem here is that people are so petty, so unbelievably petty. They're too concerned with what everybody else is doing and not with what they're doing. It's fucking irritating. It's so irritating. I'm trying to remember times where I've been minding my own business and someone's just they had to make a stupid comment. I remember, I think it wasn't on one of the first flights I took. I think it was on my flight. Yeah, it was on my flight back from Cyprus last year. No, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. I went to Cyprus, and on the flight back, I downloaded a film, and I didn't know that the film was as violent as it was. And the woman next to me on the plane was like, "Do you really have to watch that?" Or something to that effect. See, she said something that I didn't like. I think, what was I watching? Was it? I think it was The Night Comes For Us. I think the people that did The Raid. And if you haven't seen that film, make sure you watch it because it's fantastic. But it's on Netflix. I was watching The Night Comes For Us. I think it was that anyway. That's the most violent film I can think of right now. And she wanted me to turn it off. She wanted me to turn it off just because some Asian dudes had kicked the shit out of someone. It may have been a woman. It may have been a little uncomfortable to look at, but it's just a film, right? It's not real life. I mean, why you gotta be so petty? Leave me to watch my film. It's not like I'm watching the Serbian film on a flight or Human Centipede Part 2. By the way, if you haven't seen those films, don't go and look them up, especially Serbian film. You won't sleep again. You will not sleep again. It's not got monsters in it or anything like that. What is in that film is far worse than any monster film you've seen. So if you're a good old Christian boy, don't go looking at that film because your outlook on life is going to change forever. But yeah, just people getting in other people's business. Like why? All the time. Even at my workplace, right? Now, I understand I'm not supposed to be on my phone while I'm at work, but I think the rules are a little bit more lenient with my team especially. And then I have these people coming over to me saying, "Get off your phone." I'm sorry, do you pay my bills? Why don't people just mind their own business? What, because I can do something, you have to do it as well? You have to be up in my shit. You can't just go over there and work your way up to where I am, so you can also do it. You've got to come over here and rain on my parade. None of your business. What I am doing at my desk has nothing to do with you whatsoever. But you just had to come over. It drives me insane. It drives me insane. I know it sounds like I'm being petty right now. I know it sounds like I'm being petty. But the idea that people can't just mind their own fucking business. All the time. All the time. It's constant these days. Even if you can't say anything like that is even maybe a little bit controversial because people lose their minds. Which is difficult for me because that means I basically can't speak. I don't know. I'm not even going anywhere this front. I just felt like talking, and I had a Mortal Kombat video to upload, so you gotta listen to me talk some shit. Here's another one. I was talking to some girl at work, she who will not be named, and she was complaining and saying that her boyfriend doesn't have sex with her anymore, and I was saying, well, why is that? Things don't just fall out of the sky. Something triggers it. Do you think he's cheating on you? Have you argued? Have you stopped doing something that he liked? And I was like, how long has it been? She was like, well, we've been together 3 years, and for the past 9 to 12 months, we've pretty much not really had sex. I was like, well, I mean, were you having sex often before? And she was like, yeah, it was normal before. It was just a normal relationship. I was like, well, something must have changed. This is the thing with people, yeah. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, I don't understand. I mean, you've been with someone for 3 years. You must know them to some level, to some extent, right? So I'm looking through her Instagram, and this is going to sound really bad, but Earlier on, it looked like she was the kind of person that would hit gym, and now not so much. So I was like, yo, like it looks like you and your partner used to go to gym together. You're not hitting the old weights anymore. And she said, nah, I just don't feel it anymore. I don't really want to do it. And in my head, I was like, well, obviously we know what the problem here is. Then, I'm not fat shaming. I'm definitely not fat shaming. Not at all. Everyone has the right to be however they want, as long as you're happy. If that's what makes you happy, I fully support that. There's nothing wrong with it. As long as people are happy and not hurting anyone, that's fine. But if you're gonna ask me a question about why your boyfriend may not be sleeping with you anymore, but he may not like women with a little bit of extra weight on them. He's entitled to that, just like you're entitled to eat as many donuts as you want. So I was like, well, maybe it's because, do you think it's a physical thing? Oh boy, I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. I mean, it's the age-old thing, right? Never talk about a woman's weight, but I wanted to help her get to the root cause of it. And I was like, well, you don't want to go to the gym anymore because you don't think it's necessary. And he don't want to sleep with you anymore because, you're not really taking care of yourself anymore. And she wasn't having any of it. And she said to me, oh, he should just love me however I am. Now, what kind of bullshit entitlement is that? He should just love you however you are. He got with you when you were a certain way. A package was sold to him. And, people like it when you take care of yourself. Not just in the gym, but in all areas of your life. And when you start getting comfortable and you think it's acceptable to not look after yourself anymore because you think that you're entitled to some level of treatment. I mean, he might still love her. I can imagine that he still loves her, but the attraction's obviously going to go if you're not looking after yourself, right? I mean, isn't it a give and take, right? Like if my girlfriend turned around to me and said, "Hey, Mike, you're putting on the pounds. I'm not feeling it when you get on top." Then I would go and do something about it, right? Because you're in a relationship. It's a 50-50. You don't just get given shit. People are not just gonna. I mean, that's the world. That's the way the world works. It might sound superficial, but you gotta put the work in. In my opinion, you gotta put the work in. Out of respect for your partner as well. I mean, if nothing else is wrong in your relationship other than the fact that you've gained weight and they're not that attracted to you, then why not do something about it? I mean, it's healthy to do something about it. It's healthy to get back in the gym, and it's a good feeling. It's a rewarding feeling. Yeah, and for your partner, they feel like you're there. You're doing something for them. That's the way I look at it anyway. But I mean, like, if you wanna eat all the pies, that's fine. That's 100% fine. If that's what you're happy doing, more power to you. I ain't got no problem with that. But you can't turn around and just think that you should be rewarded love. Some people are attracted to bigger people and some people ain't. There's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with you wanting to maintain your size. So I mean, this girl's not even gonna watch the video. The people watching this video are probably going, hold up, what the fuck are you talking about? I honestly don't know. I'm sitting here watching Combo Breaker on mute, fucking Garrus, and I just decided to talk shit. So yeah, that's all the shit that I'm going to talk for today. The videos will continue to churn out every day, whether I speak on them or not. Just have to wait and see.